that pick of dust too. And now we're into Nuke and straight into the pistol. My name is Travis. I'm alongside Cullen, and already we're going for a fast outside play. Nithon does have a P250 boosted up with the Kevlar. He's up against Julie's as well, boosted up with the Kevlar of their own on Sharks. And this control toward outside is already being dealt with. David gets the first.
Yeah, a good start for him. The question is, can they get any more into this round? We do see the dualies out yet again on Lukosi, a gun that I usually don't believe in the usefulness of, but it has been pretty useful in this game. IDK, though, he is going to find the opener. Destiny will find the second, and now the site is being overrun. Lukosi is in a good position to maybe find some damage, but it's going to be the swing out from IDK to try and punish these players back in this position. Lukosi will trade back one, but he has to find 5 more to make this round possible.
Julie's 1 versus 5, question mark? I believe. Oh, he switches to a USP. That's so boring. See, you get what you deserved. Stick to the Julie. If you're going to commit to the Julies, you better stick to them. Nithon, he gets the frag with the P250. And Paquetá, keep the streak going. I mean, we mentioned, Cullen, didn't we, about how literally nothing went Sharks' way. And, well, I mean, Paquetá won the pistol on Nuke as well, so that kind of still applies. They're going to force up, obviously. JNT will be the one player. Leave a little, I tell a lie. It's Zevi leaving a little bit in response. A little bit left over, I should say, to have a future AWP a little bit easier. But they do at least have 5 upgraded pistols.
Yeah, and I mean, well, we've seen so many times that's really all you need for some of these rounds. The way it just can, at the drop of a feather, switch to someone else's round favor with some of these crazy plays. That said, it is the side of Paquetá that have the better guns, and they are the side that have David, so a little less likely that something crazy is going to happen with the pistols here in this round, considering one of the insane players isn't there.
Luke at the moment is knife out in the vent. If they decide to go for a vent drop, that is... We've seen that before, haven't we? You can just be knife out in the vent. If you angle your player model correctly, it's an instant backstab, which is so weird, but it can be hilarious. He's going to fall off a bit now and give up on that idea because there's no vent dive coming in from Paquetá. They are all 5 toward outside, actually, up against these pistols. Kagartex will take a little bit of damage early on, but he's on the Mach 10, so he is expendable. Yeah,
that is also some good damage from Zevi. He's able to, not really get a lot of information or damage, but does a little bit of damage on one player going down, and now he's kept at bay. It's going to be Pank to drop first, though. He will be taken down by Nithon, and now they are looking to take it in towards the A site. This is the most strong site in the hold right now, but it is if Kagartex can take down this B player, then that might change things. There is a quick trade as Nithon is going to take that down, and now they will head down towards that B site. Reelson will find one player outside, maybe trying to control the ramp rotate, but he is taken out, so now the bomb should be going down on the back of Destiny, and Sharks, they have to go for this retake.
Yeah, it was a nice equalizing flag from Wilson, actually. Took his time toward David outside, but now the Deagles are doing more work. Oh, 2 quick frags in response, though. Destiny toward JNT, and Nithon will deal with Luca. That just leaves Realism, the player I just mentioned, taking his time on that shot toward outside, but he has at least picked up the AK. But I think he realizes that with no defuse kit, it's better off saving it. He's already off toward T-spawn, so that's unfortunate for Sharks. If they'd got that that second frag, a little bit faster, maybe they would have had time for a retake. But as it is, they will just be a save once again, and Paquetá will overcome the force buy and take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, a good start for them. That is a lot of damage for Sharks, though, and that is going to help their economy a decent amount, especially having that AK. They will have to save into this one, maybe, forced by some Deagles down. They could probably get away with that. In fact, as I say that, we do see a Deagle come out for Zevi, but if they're able to hold on to that AK in the next round, that's when their economy is really going to profit from that save. Yeah. But the side of Paquetá, they don't need to save in this one. They have the money to just get their AKs and go into this one full throttle.
Now that'll actually be all they do in this round on Sharks. Reelson obviously had that Deagled and then managed to pick up the AK, so he can drop that Deagle to Zevi and give himself a chance. And he's well up a smoke as well, but it's only the only piece of utility that Sharks have. And the moment the AK is kind of completely disconnected from the action, it's toward Garage. And Paquetá looking like they want to entry toward A. In come the Mach 10s. They're about to hunt pretty hard. IDK gets the first, and they should have complete control of this site.
Yeah, 2 players in heaven. They can't really do anything. That is going to be information given up that there is at least one up there. I'm sure they already assumed that. And the bomb is down. There's pretty much nothing Sharks can do. I'm going to assume that Reelson is just going to back off and go for the save almost right away. He is going to be joined by his teammate of Lukosian. Now, Paquetá, they have a decision to make. Do they want to stay on the bomb site, enjoy their round, or do they want to hunt for that AK? Their economy isn't really solid enough to justify losing some players to this hunt, but they are at least going to go for that fight. And okay, USP finds one.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. And the AK Wilson hasn't, it's finally been noticed. He will get one flag in return, but he does not expect Kakartex all the way up towards Silo. So it does clear it out of the round. Again, as you say, it doesn't really matter too much. They can buy up in this round anyway. And I think it's safe to say that after the walkover of Dust 2, to get a decent start here and to get their CT side of Nuke up and running quickly, it's imperative that they start as soon as possible.
I mean, this is the round to make it happen. They do finally have the full buy, as well as Zevi on the op. Zevi has had some pretty strong rounds on the op so far. This is, I mean, pretty much every map on CSGO, you really need a strong performance from your opper to really solidify, at least when you're on the defending side. So Zevi's definitely going to be called upon here, but right now it's pretty tame across the map. Just regular utility coming out from everyone. No damage done just yet. Just some spams back and forth. But outside is mainly in control of Paquetá, at least for now, as they all kind of sit in this lobby position.
Yeah, Wilson just shoulder spotting toward the ramp at the moment, waiting for a bit of information. It's only IDK waiting there at the moment, looking for a bit of aggression. But at the moment, Sharks are making the right call. They don't need to go too aggressive on their first buy round. It sort of can be a toss-up sometimes where you decide to go, hard aggression on a round such as this, or, take your time. Usually first buy round, you do tend to take your time and see how the first buy round of a map really plays out. But at the moment, Paquetá, they still have plenty of utility available. Around 50 seconds left from the clock, and already some is being thrown in toward A.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to go for the A execute. They actually don't go with the utility just because I don't think it was the most successful take they've ever seen. And they are trying to figure out where these players are. They don't hear a lot of counter utility, so they don't know too much. But Zevi, he's in a good position, to find one player towards ramp. And now, Reelson, he's going to aggress, and he might find a beautiful timing onto these players in lobby. They're not expecting him to be so fast on that flank, and he should find at least one for free here. And there it is, one free kill for Reelson, and he's going to back off. But as that's happening, Destiny is flanking from heaven.
That is a huge flank as well. Gets himself 2 kills. Kakartex will respond with another as well. So that actually swings it back in Paquetá's favor. Now the 1 versus 1 though. Pank makes his way up from the vents. It's now Pank versus Kakartex. The incendiary is pretty decent. It forces Kakartex to play in basically one position. But of course, it means that the time now is going to go lower as quickly as possible. Oh, I was about to say he can peek as quickly as possible and maybe take the head away. But Pank will do very well to swing wide and get the instant headshot, and an AWP recovered as well.
Yeah, that was really well played from Pank. The second he hears the bomb start to go down, he knows even if it's a fake, they're going to be caught in that animation. So he could peek out right then and at least find one 1v1 there, and does find that. And then as the bomb goes down, it really is just a matter of who hits who first.
It's a huge round, isn't it? I mean, we mentioned that they need this start. Problem is, they've won it with 1 player alive, and that is rough for the future. Of course, we already see Reelson on an MP9. We're going to have JNT on a FAMAS as well. So, it's not bad. Close angles for an MP9. The MP9 is basically a fast M4. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see if they can still hold on to this round.
Yeah, they neither of these teams have a great economy. Paquetá definitely have the better buy going into this one, but when you're on the CTs, you don't always need the most amazing economy. You just need good positioning to win some of these rounds. But if Paquetá are smart with their utility, the small amount of utility that they do have going into this might be easy. As I say that, they actually are out of utility completely. So Zevi, he's just going to be dry peeked right here. And if he doesn't hit this right away, he's in a lot of danger. He is going to start to back up, make his way back towards bathroom, and they are going to completely call off this take towards B. Instead, head more towards this A site where Pank is awaiting them. Finds the first. He has to find a lot more. He does a lot of damage, but no kill. And now they're going to start wrapping towards heaven. Lukosi is looking to peek and find some of these players. He will find one, but can he find the others? They're under heaven, and they're going to spam him. They see him through the ground.
Yeah, but they've had no utility for ages, Paquetá. That's why they gave up on the secret play. AWP, they can't face that with no util, so they just completely decided to go in a different direction and play trades. At the moment, it hasn't actually gone too badly They have a 2 versus 3. They have the site. 2 players coming up the vents from Sharks. Zevi has been spotted. They only have 1 defuse kit. That is on Reels in on the MP9, and David is going on a flank here. This could catch out, but no. Zevi so aware. Nithon gets 1, but Reels in will trade it on the MP9. And the awareness there of Sharks was absolutely spot on.
Yeah, that was very, very well played on the retake from them. I like a lot that their Heaven player doesn't decide to try and deny them putting the bomb down there, because there were definitely chances where one of the players could have, you know, swung out and got a lot more map control, but it would have been a very risky peek. Instead, they decide, hey, let's just retake this as a group. We have the numbers on our side. We have the position on our side. It's a lot faster if we just go ahead and do this at our own pace. So that is a very good call from Sharks.
Yep, that was really spot on as well, and important to win a second in a row with a majority of players left alive. So it's good. It puts Paquetá onto a sort of a money situation now where you probably just go pistol armor and a bit of utility, maybe burst toward ramp, burst toward A, something like that. We do have a little bit of a tech pause. Shouldn't be too long. We have a monitor problem apparently. There's one monitor that has gone down apparently. So I imagine that is either Pank or JNT, because they're the 2 players who haven't budged when it comes to their buy. So it shouldn't be too long before they restart that and we can get started once again.
If there's a monitor problem, how did they type in chat to say there's a monitor problem? Now, that is unfortunate. Hopefully that is figured out in just a little bit. That said, this does give the teams a little bit of time to think about what they are going to do next, especially Paquetá Gaming. They need to figure out what the plan is for this next one, as they only have pistols, only Glocks on their back. I don't think they're allowed to discuss strats during a tech pause. I believe that an admin in their TeamSpeak would be like, no, no, no. But I'm sure that at least their IGL had it in the back of his mind.
Yeah. Pank says in chat, I am sorry, my monitor went off. I'm ready now. So very polite of Pank. And he's now back and ready to go. And it should be around where he can do some fragging, because there's no armor on all but one. It's just IDK with the Deagle and Kevlar. As I mentioned, a bit less utility than I expected. David tries to escape. Actually, David actually gets the timing. That was pretty remarkable. I'm not sure if that was caught, but
it definitely was saw.
Secret. And he just about got the timing. Pack, though, he escapes with it. That is a dink.
Was that
the edge of vents?
Yeah, I was about to say, was that with a Deagle? The fact that it doesn't get a kill is crazy, but just 50-50, unlucky. Yeah. Definitely unlucky. They did catch him crossing on, like, at the very last second. They saw him make his way down secret, so they got the info that player was there and were able to get down there in time to win that fight. Definitely, with any other gun, like with a Deagle or, you know, a rifle or anything else, that is a win for the side of Paquetá. So I'm sure that was a little bit annoying for that player. But now Sharks, they have a 5 versus 3 lead, and they're just kind of holding the line, waiting to see what Paquetá decides to do.
Yeah, I mean, Paquetá have done a pretty decent job in this round when they have basically nothing to work with, of just wasting them down the clock and making Sharks deploy their utility. So they've actually not got much left. Only the incendiary and a couple of flashes, 1 smoke. So they have forced that reinvestment. Nithon is toward heaven. Zevi's actually right underneath him right now, which could be a difficult angle to face. In the end, Nithon actually does take the AWP away from Zevi, and he gets a second as well. He'll drop down toward the A site, looking to do more havoc in the end. JNT is the player to finish him off, but that is probably more than he bargained for. Reelsin can at least recover the AWP, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, that kill money coming through does actually help Paquetá Gaming's economy just a little bit. They should have enough for, if they wanted to, they could have gone for an op there, but instead they decided to get the utility on all of the players. Nithon could have got that op, but instead is going to get, you know, Molly, Flash, all the good. And Sharks, they are still kind of in a rough place economically. They are still maybe 1 or 2 rounds away from having their economy broken. So the fact that these rounds are always so close, or even if not close, just, you know, there's always so much damage, means that the economy is always so close to being broken for the side of Sharks. And IDK finding the opener there is definitely good for the side of Paquetá as well.
Yeah, and he's actually on his way down the vents too. Pank caught off through that smoke toward Mini, and now with IDK having control of the vents, that means they can take the B side pretty comfortably as well. They got more players to find. Zevi is here, but Destiny taking down Reelsin is a big factor. That means it's all the way down to Zevi. He does have support from JNC. They can molly the ramp. He gets a little bit too soon though. There's David, and now Zevi has a chance to do more work. He'll be remollied off once again. Here's a 3 versus 3. Sharks obviously do have all defuse kits available, and Paquetá, they're fooling them at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like they maybe want to head up towards the A site. Lukosi is still here, actually in the perfect position to catch this off if they do go for this rotate, as the bomb on the back of Kagatex hasn't made its way towards either of the sites just yet. Also, JNT and the player in heaven, that being Nithon, have kind of gone back and forth, but that is a good start. Lukosi is going to find one of the players making their way up event, and now Bomb is going to follow. This is a very difficult position, but Nithon is going to find the player outside, that being JNT, and it's a 2 versus 2 for this Bomb.
I think he might have played a bit of trigger discipline there, Nithon. He walked all the way through heaven. I think he might have got past the player, and he's playing an absolute blinder in this one. Up to 11 and 4, 2 headshots on the round. This is basically pulled this one back in Paqueta's favor. I think he knows where Zebi's coming from. The flash is actually pretty bang on, but it's the AWP in a 1 versus 2. It can be so hard to deal with. He actually does take Kagatex somehow, but it's Nithon to be the hero. 3 headshots for him, up to 12 and 4. Look at that scoreboard right now. David and Kagatex, both on 2 on 5. Destiny, I don't know. It's so easy to say that, isn't it? IDK, both on 6, but Nithon, 12 and 4.
Yeah, 140 ADR over 7 rounds now. Nithon is definitely showing up in a way that we haven't really seen from them before in this entire qualifier so far. So I always love seeing players that I haven't seen before really pop off, see what they really can do. Zevi's also having a really solid game for the side of the Sharks. Really solid opping from them, but sadly in this round they are only going to have a scout as their economy has been broken.
A nice edge for both teams, wasn't it? I mean, even if Paquetá lose a good amount of numbers here, that's not good for the future of their T side. It's still a dangerous buy as well. It is pretty much a full force. Zevi the only one keeping the 1,100 in the bank, of course, because he wants the AWP in the future. That always tends to be the plan in these sort of force buys. But a CZ and 2 deals on an MP9, it's still very dangerous indeed. A standoff at the moment toward ramp. Looks like Paqueta's end game might be to force Reels in back down toward B.
Yeah, we are going to see a little fight from outside. I don't know who's going to clear this first. It is going to be Pank actually to win that with the pistol, and that is a good opener. There's no one else holding that gun as well, so they could go ahead and retrieve it, and that they will do. Picked up the AK onto Pank, and now this round is a little more doable for the side of Sharks. We are going to see a ramp take. Reelsin hiding behind the box, going to peek out and try to find a little bit of damage when they're not expecting it. That is the first, and Zevi is there to support, but Reelsin doesn't need it. He finds 1 and 2, and now that is the bomb drop. 2 players alive now for the side of Paquetá. What was supposed to be the round that saved their economy is now slowly but surely being dragged away by the side of the Sharks.
You know, I mentioned earlier about how you can't really stick around toward ramp. You have to get the information, maybe 1 frag and fall down. He does stick around, and with only like 6 bullets left in the clip, the MP9 gets a 2nd frag. So that is really nicely done from Reelsin. Of course, in a round such as this, taking the gamble is worth it, and it can pay off. You know, he's actually trying to duel Destiny right now, and he gets a 3rd kill. So nice. He actually drops the bomb. It didn't take him down after time, so it's not a huge deal. And Kagatex has managed to fall back and save that AWP. But I mentioned, you know, Paqueta's money was on a knife edge. They're going to have a buy, but it's going to be a little bit scuffed.
Yeah, they save over the op, which is definitely the most expensive one to save over. Also, I do believe that they've been having Nithon op at least a little bit, so it might get dropped over to him, but no, Kagatex is actually going to hold on to that. He's also been a very solid opper throughout this entire qualifier, so that's not really a bad call, I would say, on any way, shape, or form. And looks like we are going to see just the regular outside control, maybe a little more aggressive than usual for the side of Paquetá, seeing if they can punish someone getting aggressive, as last round did have an aggressive play from one of the Shark players. And Reelsin, he's taking a duel towards ramp as well. He's getting pushed by Destiny, but Destiny can't seem to find that kill, at least not yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, haven't we, that Kagatex is one of the AWPers, obviously, for Paquetá. Usually the secondary is Nithon. The primary for Vertigo was Nithon, when we saw Paquetá play on Vertigo.
Ooh.
He was the only one to pick up the AWP on that map. Pank will catch him out on this round. He's only had the Deagle, so it's a good opener for Sharks. Looking to try and take the lead now on the CT side of Nuke. And already Paquetá haven't really got an idea. It feels like at the moment the bomb is still toward T-spawn. With 50 seconds to go. They have the Tech 9, they have the AK, the Glil, and the AWP. But of course, lack of a helmet on 2 of these players. That's rough against M4s.
Yeah, they do have 1 player on B, though, that being the op of Kagatex, so he could maybe get some good map control for them to drop down vents. The question is, can they get to vents? They are going to make a lot of noise, but no swing coming through from the side of Paquetá Gaming, from the side of Sharks, and now this is dangerous. The op could deny a lot of control. Kagatex will find one, but a player has already crossed into sight. That being Realzin, who finds one, who finds two, and now he only has two more players to find as he also gets the kill onto David. Now it's IDK all alone. He is good for one, but he's gonna get spammed by Lukosi as he drops down the vent. The defuse will come through from Realzin after 3 kills from him in the round. Sharks find a 5th.
He's been the hero 2 rounds in a row now. 3 on the MP9, 3 on the AK. His positioning there was absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, obviously, Kagatex did manage to get 1 on the AWP, but it didn't matter because he managed to respond with all 3. So that trade down the vent was probably one of the most aggressive trades I think I've ever seen. It was pretty perfect. And it made sure there was nothing for Paquetá to do in that situation. Of course, I think they, did get a bomb plant, but that's it. So we have a little bit of a tech pause coming in again. There's a bit of a problem with Realzin, I believe. I don't know the exact reason or what problem he has at the moment, but I will let you know when I do.
You played that round too well. Got too many kills. Got too hot. Keyboard lit on fire. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's not far off. The MP9 round previously, I spoke about it. It was sort of a surprise to see him, not fall down toward B, considering, they still had an advantage on the CT side. But, when you're in that sort of round, it can be worth, sticking around longer and catching off a second player. In the end, you got 3. But, yeah. Apparently, Realzin had a problem in real life. There was no real explanation other than that. But it has been sorted. So they are ready to get back underway again. All
right, we will be getting right into this round. Then we do see the Sharks have a decent amount of economy. It's still not amazing, but the fact that they saved over a lot of their rifles, including 2 AKs, will mean that this is a full buy for them. The side of Paquetá, they are going to force up some pistols, but nothing too crazy. Just a Deagle, a bunch of Tech 9s, and then a P250, which should be pretty easy for the side of the Sharks to clean up.
It can always be dangerous on this map, though, because if you have utility, as they do, smokes, flashes, it can really be a very powerful strategy to go in fast with those Tech 9s. I mean, you see it on Inferno, and we're going to see it on Nuke as well. In come the utility, in come the grenades. They're going to be rushing fast forward A here. Everyone's blind, it feels like, and they're going to try and take advantage of it, but Luca is doing great work. 2 frags for him, Paquetá to help out, 3 in the end for Luca, and even 1 for JNT as well. So that is very clean for Sharks. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for them to build up something, and winning a round like that with all 5 players alive is excellent for the future of their CT half.
Yeah, that was just a Hail Mary from the side of Paquetá. I'm surprised they even bought pistols into that. You would think that if they're going to go for something like that, you would just buy only the utility, and I don't know why I said utility like that, and then maybe just go for the Glocks, because you're probably going to get the exact same thing from Glocks or any other pistols. You're just going to see if you can get lucky. But now they're going for a fast take towards ramp, and David is good for the first. Pink is going to trade 1 and 2 back before he falls, and now that is ramp control. JNT is here to find at least 1, if not all 3. No, he only finds 2 in the end, but that should be more than enough to make this round a lot easier on his teammates.
1 versus 2 for Nython. We've seen him pull off a couple of fancy things in the past. He does have the bomb on his back, and he has a whole 1 minute 20 to play with. Everyone's nearly out of this round. How it felt like maybe before it even begun. So it's a lot of time to play with, a lot more than you usually would get in a 1 versus 2. He's playing it patiently at the moment. He has a smoke and a flash as well. So if he gets toward a site, he can possibly plant in a smoke and play an after plant. But at the moment, he's sort of stuck between 2 angles. Hasn't made a decision as of yet.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to go ahead and start to reposition, but he may be catching Lukosi right in the back of his head. This timing is not going to work out for him. And actually, no, he is looking the right way. Nython smells out that player and is able to find that kill. But is it going to be... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. they catch each other. They catch each other with their pants down. The bomb plant will come through. He's just going to plant it nice out and open. Zevi, not sure if it's a fake or if it's a stick. And now there's pretty much nothing Zevi can do unless they hit some insane no-scope up here. The smoke will come through to try to help them out, but Nython's probably just going to go ahead and spam this smoke.
Yeah, he's elevated his position, so that's smart as well from Nithon. Xavi, he's playing it as this as quite literally as smart as possible. He's literally stuck in the vents. I mean, the poor guy. He had a chance for that frag as well. I mean, it was so awkward in the vents, wasn't it? When Nithon dropped down. Okay, I've probably got a free B site here, but no, he was already there. But in the end, after a little bit of fumbling from both of them, Nithon did manage to escape, and he's managed, thanks to mostly that damage, to take a 5th round for Paquetá. It's a weird one, but you take them if you can get them.
Yeah, a very, very hectic round. I mean, I thought that was going to be a free kill for Lukosi there, but no, he actually does get cleared out. So that is very, very smart from Nithon. You can see why he has 14 kills. He's really playing out of his mind. And yeah, that's a really solid 1v3 actually. At the end of that, it was a 1v2 for most of it, but he did actually start that clutch by taking out, I believe it was Reelsin who was spraying down onto the players. Or no, it was Pink, I believe. So that was a good start for them. Also, it looks like they maybe want to head fast towards this A site. A lot of utility very quickly just to get down those vents, and Kagatex will get down, but a lot of damage taken for that map control.
What a hero Nithon has been so far in this game. 14 and 7 for him. Already spotted toward outside though. Xavi is in trouble because look, he's getting flanked by Kagatex. He's going to walk straight into him. It's in the end, it actually is Nithon to get the frag, but he's getting flanked anyway. So that was going to be a guaranteed opener either way. And now that gives Paquetá a very tasty 5 versus 4. A little bit of damage, of course, to Kagatex, but it shouldn't matter too much. With a minute on the clock, they'll fall back and deploy some of their utility toward outside.
Yeah, they already have one player holding down towards the B site. They know that no one could flank them from being like, hey, if we get outside, we can get into B pretty well. There's probably only one player holding it, which, yeah, that is true. JNT is here. But if they can find a kill onto that one player, then they're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, it's a tough one with 40 seconds to go. I mean, you have to make a call here. If you're Sharks, you have to stack somewhere. You can't really rely on, you know, a player going above and beyond and going for a solid multi-flag. Flag coming in, JNT, he gets one. Can he do more? David's down to 34 HP, but Destiny has taken Pank as well. So in the meantime, the frags are still coming in for Paquetá. It's down to 2 players now on Sharks. Molotov from Heaven in the coming. Unfortunately, he'll get caught in the back. Actually, it gives him a chance because JNT's found another frag, and the bomb is in his possession with 12 seconds to go. This is dangerous. He's going to get pinched from 2 different angles. Gets the first frag toward Destiny, and he can run away. Can he get round toward ramp and save this round? I think he's done it. David won't have time. The wall bag is trying to come in, but that is a cheeky victory for JNT.
1v3s traded back and forth. Paquetá just take the time down a little bit too much, and it comes back to bite them in the ass. That was stressful. I had my hand on my chest. I was very worried about how that was going to go, but it does go the way of Sharks in the end there.
Yeah, I mean, the way it panned out was surprising because, you know, JNT was low anyway at 34 HP. The way he took Destiny was really smart and really clean. But then he realized, okay, there's 5 seconds. I've already seen where David is. I can run away and win the round for my team through a timeout alone. So fantastic stuff. It puts Paquetá down to a weird buy now. It's David on a hero AK with pistols surrounding him. But if there's anyone you'd want on the AK, it's probably David.
Yeah, that's for sure. If there's anyone who's going to swing out and hit some insane shots, it'll probably be him. He's having a little bit of a uncharacteristic quiet match. He's usually extremely loud with his frags, and that is a good start. There he is, adding more to his count. Lukosi, oh no, you can't whiff those. He does only find one, but he was in such good position to find even more. Xavi is going to be smoked off, but the smoke is not ideal, and he's going to find one right there. Nithon is going to find a nice 1D as well towards the A site.
Yeah, that was a big crack from Nithon. This actually makes this round doable, like even more doable than before. It means he can pick up an M4 as well. He has a flashbang to work with. Bomb has been planted. Pank and Xavi both have defuse kits. He's planted toward the A site. Xavi toward Heaven. Pank coming in toward main right now. If he catches Nithon, that could be the key. And he does catch the timing. He's down to 10 HP though, and now it's down to Kagatex to try and clutch.
Yeah, he's actually going for the flank on Heaven. I don't think they're going to be ready for this, especially considering they both repositioned towards Heaven. The problem is, oh my god, just look down. Kagatex is playing this to perfection, but he has to hit the shots. He has to hit the kills. Can he get this last one? a tap from Pank and he gets it. Does he have the time though? He has a kit. I think he might just have it. I think at the last second he gets it, and there it is. Pank is able to clutch it out.
What?
A little bit of a mist spray coming through, and Young Sharks just barely find an 8th.
What? How? How?
That's why you go.
That is
You
a-
always go for the farther player first on those plays. You always got to go for the far one.
Yeah. That is, I can't believe it. That's the most remarkable run of 3 rounds, and that is the most unique situation I think I've ever seen. The player's almost looking. He's looking at his teammate. He's almost looking down. They just have no idea he's there, but he still can't win the round. I can't believe it. Kagatex, he'll be kicking himself. That could be a big round in the context of how this game pans out, because Young Shark's economy would have probably been broken, and now it's all down to the final 2 rounds of the half. Destiny will catch off Pank spraying towards Squeaky. It's suddenly swinging back in Paqueta's favor once again.
Yeah, that's a good opener from them. The question is, can they convert off of it? Lukosi is going to know that there's at least one player here, and he's trying to swing out to support his teammate. That should be damage, but no kills. Destiny does find the kill onto JNT on top of Hut, but Zevi and Lukosi are going to trade 2 back, and they're still looking for more. Reelson is going to find one as well, and almost gets punished for it, but just barely gets away from it. Now it is a 3 versus 2 in favor of Sharks yet again. Lukosi is about to be tested as they look to take this site. Oh no.
Oh, Luca will catch him. Yeah, so that could be the stealing frag. IDK has at least made his way down the fence toward B, but Reelson is here. Could be creeping up to punish. I don't think IDK will be expecting to be so close already, and he does hit the shot. And that will be a 9th round for Sharks. What crazy situations we found ourselves in the last few rounds. The shot that was made by Reelson was literally jumping into Kagatex's arms. But of course, when you're on the AWP, it can be hard to hit a jumping MP9. So he grabs the frag, gets legged in the process, grabs the AWP, and finishes off the round. Paquetá, only 5 on the board. Last round of the half coming in. At least they have a full buy.
This is, I mean, Sharks look great. They look like a very different team than what we saw on Dust 2, and they're looking pretty confident. That said, Paquetá, I mean, they are keeping this very close. In fact, I mean, you said it yourself. We just saw one of the craziest span of 3 rounds that we've seen in a game in a very long while. So this isn't exactly something that's coming down to just like, this is good strategy, this is bad strategy. It's just like, hey, this is the way the game is happening, and it's kind of unpredictable and not even really due to good plays or misplays. It's just a lot of crazy stuff happening. Also, woo, David, right through the smoke, gonna find an opener. Nithon also finding a headshot outside.
Yeah, that's a 5 versus 3 out of nowhere as well. David, as you mentioned, has been a little bit quiet in this game so far. It's only his 5th kill. In fact, Paquetá have 2 players who only had 4 kills before the start of this round. Woo! So it's important for them to get started, especially as we head towards the second half. Reelson will answer back with a nice shot toward Destiny. The Paquetá are looking to group up toward A right now. Again, more spraying of the smoke. Pank is so lucky to get away, but Luca's taking Nithon in the meantime. Can Pank get a frag? No, he can't. A good second frag from David, but look at Reelson on the site. David's going to go wild on this one, and they do finish off the half. A nice bit of team play there, dealing with that player who was low HP. So they do at least keep Sharks away from double digits.
Yeah, that is a good round to win, a very important round to win for Paquetá there at the end, but still, I mean, that's a really good lead from the side of Sharks. I guess it really comes down to how Sharks play on their T side. This is considered CT-sided map, at least by me and casters. I don't know how it plays out in the South American region. Maybe it's a little bit different here, but if they, the question is, have they gotten enough rounds to save off Paquetá Gaming CT side, which, if we go with the trend, will be their stronger side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still just thinking about the Kagatex round, man. I mean, he literally watched them Bogdan. They watched them hit them Bogdan like directly above them to switch the AWP to low HP player, and he can't take the AWP first. The guy who he used to hit 1 bullet on. I'm literally playing it, through my mind, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm still thinking, because that could have made such a big difference. I mean, that could have been an even 8-7. It could have been, even a lead for Paquetá. Yeah, I mean, that is probably one of the most unique rounds I think I've ever seen. But yeah, anyway, we'll put that in the past for now, and we'll have a go at this second half. Paquetá, of course, a map up already, have been taken Dust 2 very convincingly indeed. Sharks have a good amount of frags across the board. It's nice to see everyone, putting in a shift. It's not one player overly carrying, so it's mainly been Luca and Reelson to be slightly ahead of the rest of the team. But other than that, it has been pretty close. Waiting for the ready up now to get this second half started.
Yeah, that. I mean, what a first half though. I mean, it is pretty damn crazy. I don't know. I'm almost at a loss for words. I am excited to see more. If Sharks,
because all we can think about is that one round, but there was like 2 or 3 other rounds which had 1v1s expiring the time. There was that mess of event play from I think it was Nithon and was it Nithon and Pank, was it, I believe, and or Nithon and Zevi, I believe, and it's just crazy how some of these are turning out. But yeah, it's sometimes that's the way Counter-Strike can be.
It's that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles. Hopefully for Paquetá Gaming they do find a little more of a footing in this second half that would help them out a lot more. If they can't, then yeah, definitely not in a great spot for them. So that would
it's a couple of desk smashing moments, haven't there? But it's been a couple of moments where you could think, okay, I've just quite literally thrown this like by accident. What can I like? Give me something to break because I need to get some frustration out.
That's definitely how I would feel as well. I think we're just a few seconds away from getting into the second half, if I'm not mistaken. If my internal clock is correct, if it's not, then I look like a fool and I apologize. But
we're at 20 seconds, I think. Because, it's only the admin. It's only the admin that needs to ready up. The all-important admin.
Yeah, that's an important part. Also, for anyone who isn't aware, this is map 2 of a best of 3. Map 1 was won by Paquetá Gaming, as you can see by the little dot under their score over there in the top right. Map 3, if we do go to it, will be Mirage. But if Paquetá Gaming win this map of Nuke, we will only see 2 maps.
Absolutely, and the winner does go through to the main event, the DreamHack Open September South America main event, and the loser goes through to the consolidation final tomorrow to play against SWS for the 1 remaining slot. So this is it's the winners match. This one, this is a big game. It gives them that one of those 2 slots in the main event. So it's they'll be feeling the nerves a little bit perhaps at this sort of stage. And already we have the pistol now getting underway. A bit of a rush toward ramp actually for the CT side. And they're going to be walking straight into everyone. Devi gets the first frag. They're going to jump in now, but Devi gets 1, 2, 3. Finally joined by Zevi. What a great round from David. He's turned back up again. And then eventually they are going to group on toward these final 2 remaining teams of Sharks. Zevi is the last one left. When he dive down the vents and possibly get a plant, he will fake the sound at least. But it's a 1 versus 4 still.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just stick the bomb plant here and just see if you can get it down. Oh, no, he's waiting a little bit too long, and now he's just going to get overrun. Finds the first, looking for the second. If they could have found that second kill, it would have been maybe a different story. But no, Zevi does fall, and Paquetá, they find another pistol round. How many pistols is that now for Paquetá? I think they won the first 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's something where my goldfish memory is not going to help out with, I'm afraid. But still, it keeps the game close, of course, as well. Paquetá, they are, as we've mentioned, just 1 map away. So we're going to force Sharks down to a full eco. Of course, as you mentioned, they didn't get their bomb plant, so there's no point for a full force here. And it will let Paquetá reach that 8 rounds and buy up full AK-47s in the next. A bit of farming ready here for the CT side, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. It could go either way. We've talked about how we do like when teams just decide to only, not buy at all and instead opt for just a pistol. So that's always a good call. And I like that they're going to be able to buy into the next because Paquetá, they absolutely swept the floor with them in that round, bringing us to only 1 round between these 2 scorelines. Sharks do still have the lead with the 9 over Paquetá's 8, but 1 bad round could really change the entire course of this game. So Sharks, they really need to win this next one.
Yeah, I would say, the common meta is if you get the T, if you're on T, if you get the one planted, but you lose, you force. If you lose without the bomb being planted, you save. It can be, I've seen different teams do different things, but overall, I would say the percentage is higher with that combination. And of course, it means Sharks have a really good chance in this round because obviously Paquetá will still be on the same buy from the previous with the 2 MP9s.
Yeah, it does look like they're maybe going to head towards ramp, and David does find the first. He's sticking around for more as he finds another kill, going to reposition, look for the third. He isn't able to find it, but Nithon is before he's quickly traded out by Zevi, and now it's a 2 versus 3 for the sides of the Sharks. They do have a good position, but Destiny, he is going to win the fight against Pank, who is holding the flank if Pank won the flank. Dr. Seuss, he could have made that happen, but a beautiful double peek coming through from both IDK and Destiny to find that last kill. Perfectly timed to get Paquetá a 9th.
There's some pretty nice rhymes you can make with some of these player names, isn't there? I mean, Pank watching the flank is definitely a good one, but unfortunately, he couldn't tank the flank, and he will go down. And it means that Paquetá make it a 9-all now, an even game. Once again, Sharks are back down to pistols, and they can afford to keep on those MP9s because of that as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of other fun rhymes like Nithon, the Tiger. I think I messed that one up.
Nice one, man.
It's the worst joke I've made. Destiny getting really aggressive. Drops the bomb on Pank's back. He is getting chased down, but IDK is there to support him as well. And now they are just all pushing through. Reelsin all alone, and he can't even find that last one. Lukosi was good for a kill onto IDK, but that's all that happens in this round is Paquetá finally find the lead with 10.
Yeah, Kagatex is lagging a little bit behind his team right now on Paquetá, but it doesn't matter because Nithon up to 22-12. He was the king of the T side, and it's showing at the moment. He will now take the lead, just that 6 rounds away. It sounds like a lot, but it's still within touching distance now. Zevi is on the AWP for Sharks. Of course, though, he is helmetless and susceptible to the M4s and MP9.
Yeah, the question, not for the game, but the question for us is, what happens if it goes to overtime? You know, what do we do with ourselves if it goes to overtime? Right now, it is looking like it is in favor of Paquetá, especially considering the early map control they have towards the B site, but Kagatex, he has a really good position to punish the Sharks' push, and oh no, Kagatex is not able to finish off the kill, and Lukosi is just going to be able to get away. Another very integral kill miss for Kagatex, but he will finally close it out, and that is what they really needed going into that. I was going to say if it goes to overtime, I'm going to lose my mind, as we did see 2 overtimes on Nuke yesterday, but Paquetá Gaming, they do find the first, so they are trying to close this out in regulation.
Yeah, not just 2 overtimes. I think around 9 overtimes in total between the 2 games.
That is true.
So yeah, it was a pretty remarkable day, and that was a pretty remarkable duel for Kagatex. He really needed that opening one toward Luca. Pank does answer back though. That's the raid boss of Paquetá down of Nithon. He's been the pleading most of the work so far, but I think Paquetá still are in decent spots right now. Sharks are sort of spread out across the outside position with 30 seconds to go. They haven't actually got near a site yet.
Yeah, I think that Paquetá are probably, just based off their positions, going to be heading towards the A site. And as I said, they are actually pretty much all in mini now. They are going to peek one by one. Destiny will take a dink, but he's able to find 1 and 2. And this is a giant misplay. Why are they peeking one by one? Finally, Zevi will trade it out, but Reelsin, he really has to get something done, probably finding IDK on site. If he drops this, his round pretty much lost. And yeah, there's no time, Zevi, unless he hits some fast shots. It is over. Kagatex finds the last, and Paquetá Gaming, they find an 11th.
Yeah, Sharks starting to struggle again. It's a little bit worrying for them. The rounds that Paquetá, you know, were not the favourites for. They've won, obviously, with the MP9s and you know, against the AKs early on. So they built up a real big bank. Kagatex is up to 12.2, David 8.7. Those are the 2 players who are swelling right now with their economy. So it's a real good situation for them, and they have now a 2-round lead, of course. Timeout coming in, the first of Sharks' timeouts on this map.
Yeah, first, but I mean, maybe not the last with how Paquetá are starting to run away with this lead. I would not be surprised if Paquetá win a few more rounds. We see a 2nd and a 3rd timeout come out for Sharks, because they usually seem to pull them out when they either are losing or find their first round after losing a lot in a row. So we will see what the plan is for Sharks. Of course, they did just use that timeout. I think maybe to plan out the next round more than this one, considering this one just has the pistols and it isn't a full buy, but I'm sure they're getting ready for at least 2 rounds ahead with this pistol buy, with this plan, and they are looking for outside, but possibly a missed smoke is going to make that very difficult, as Nithon has a clear line of sight towards the cross.
This is an interesting one because they do have armor on 4 of these Sharks pistols, so it could be a dangerous one for Paquetá. Of course, damage won't matter too much with the economy they have. Nithon crosses toward Garage, spots the first, but it'll get tapped down from range and finished off in the end by Paquetá. So that's a bit of a misplay there from Nithon, a little bit too lackadaisical toward Garage. The grenades in response are good, and they should team up toward Destiny. They do. 2nd headshot for Pank, and now they'll make their way down towards Secret in good time.
Yeah, they're going to get there almost before the CT, so there is one player that's going to swing out, that being IDK. If he could find any more, that would have been a round saver, but only 2 kills. And now the A site is completely open. They're going to fall into this site with no resistance, and the bomb will go down on the back of Zevi. The last 2 players for the side of Paquetá are on the B site, and as I hear this bomb get planted, they have a decision to make. Do we sit here, do we hold, and do we make sure that we have an AK and an op going into this next round, or do we use the insane economy that both Kagatex and David have and see if we can go for this retake?
Yeah, I think you bide your time in this one. If you have like a lead of, like maybe 6 or 5 rounds, I would say go for it. But with a lead of just 2, and with the economy that they both have, I think Kagatex, he can drop like 3 if he wants. He doesn't have to. He can drop 3. Pank is looking for the ace, though. That's clearing out another player. I'm going to try and save. Kagatex is now a little bit in the open. Pank could have a really stunning ace here. He spots him, but he'll get away from the situation and keep his AK. So it's still okay. That is unfortunate. Kagatex will go down to the bomb in the end. So that's AWP gone. But the hero of that last round, for sure, Pank. 4 deagle kills.
Yeah, those are very, very important kills. And there it is. Sharks, they find a first round after a long round deficit, and they call a timeout. What am I, some sort of prediction god, or just someone who can read very basic patterns? That is, yeah, the timeout for them. I'm sure Paquetá are going to be using this timeout to their advantage as well, figuring out what they're going to go into this next round with. They do have enough economy to do a full buy and then some. Kagatex had, I believe, 12K. At the end of the previous round, meaning he probably had more with the loss bonus. So, Paquetá Gaming, they're going to be putting a lot into this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was around 14.1, so more than enough to have a full buy across the whole team. But, when you're the AWP player, it gets whittled down quickly. I can see right in front of me right now that Kagatex spent 10,300 before the beginning of this round. So there you go. That's the AWP, full util, armor, a kit. It's quite literally everything, and probably a drop as well. So
yeah,
is a tasty purchase.
Yeah, very, very hefty purchase, but it's what they need to get into this round. The problem is, if they lose this round, they probably don't have a buy for the next. Maybe a force buy if they want to, but Sharks, they are finally in a position where they could really start to get back into this. If they lose this round, though, their economy is not great. They still have a bit of money on 3 of their players, but the other 3, not so much. They will be stuck with pretty much SMGs or pistols into the next, so Sharks really hoping to take this round home.
Yeah, this could be a big swing round. It's pretty critical. Already some duels toward outside. Pank once again wins his opener. And they have complete control of Garage as well. David is here to look for it, but Kagatex is gone as well. And Sharks are now looking to fight back. You have players in secret control. They have players in Garage control. They can choose to go toward B or A right now. It's completely up to them. The world is their oyster. And Paquetá will probably look to save if the truth is known.
Yeah, especially with that kill coming through. Lukosi finding the kill onto Destiny as the players were looking to maybe head down towards B and defend that site. Instead, now Sharks, they have pretty much full map control, and any site they go to, there's really only one player there. IDK, though, is in a beautiful position to maybe catch them off guard, depending on where they want to go, and they are going to start to creep out. So IDK, he will see this cross to A if they decide to go for it, but instead it's going to be the take towards B. Only one player down here, that being David, and he's not looking the right way quite yet, but I'm sure he's going to hear some footsteps in just a few seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately, they have 2 mollies for this position, so even if they don't get the frags, it's always going to be a 1-for-1. There we go. Even if he got a second, he would have been mollied out if he was hiding. So, very nice stuff from Sharks. Just fast outside of control. Pank once again with an important entry. Luca with 2. Now it's all down to IDK to try and save his M4. And as we've said, that has put the Paquetá economy down to a bit of a rough situation. Suddenly, you can look so rich, and now you can look so poor. It's going to be 11-all, anyone's game.
Yeah, they are hunting just a tiny bit for this last gun on IDK. They don't want to overextend, especially on the players who are low on health, like low on economy, like Lukosi or Reelsin, but people like Pink, people like JNT, they can hunt a little bit, and that's exactly what they're going to do, try to find players in the other spawns. But IDK, he is just chilling in Garage, and he's going to hold on to that M4. But Sharks, they are going to tie us back up at 11 across the board as we go into round 23.
That's amazing. I thought, Paquetá looked like they might be running away with this one now, but Sharks have hit straight back. They're showing that they are not out of this series just yet. Of course, it was 5 rounds in a row for Paquetá, including a couple of those gun rounds, so Sharks finally get their first 2 rounds of their T side of Nuke. And they have the superior buy here as well. We have one for Paquetá, of course. Gartex is on a glass cannon AWP, and they have rifles to surround him. They should have an advantage with the amount of utility they have over the CT side. Already, Paquetá have just 2 flashes and 2 smokes left with 1:30.
Yeah, they are looking to maybe head outside. We do see 1 smoke come through. They're not going for the full cross just yet. At least I hope not, because Nithon does have eyes on that. But he's going to drop down anyway. And there it is, the other smoke as well. Pank takes a tiny bit of damage as he crosses over to Garage. And Realzin actually does get tagged down quite a bit, but no kill coming through, at least not yet. I'm not sure what's hurting Lukosi there, but that is a good flash in. I think it was actually the molly from his teammates that was hurting him there. Nithon, he is going to find the opener outside. He takes down Pank, and now it is a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, Pank was the player doing quite a lot of the entry work toward outside, and this time he will get stopped by Nithon toward heaven. And now they need to smoke off that glass position toward hell, because otherwise they won't be able to push up successfully. Realzin is going to go for that. Paquetá should be absolutely aware that's a possibility, but there we go. That's the power of the AWP. Zevies is in the action, does deal with that player of Nithon toward heaven, and now they know that's actually a clear position. The rotation has to come in from ramp with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, I mean, Sharks, they get this heaven control. They are going to know that it's at least a little bit safer to go towards the site, but David is going to come up right at the same time as his player, and it's all about who sees who first. Realzin is going to give some damage to David there, but his gun is covering the player on site. IDK is good for 1. Destiny finds another, but kills come through, and that is an important kill. Unless JNT can find this in the next few seconds, the round is over. But IDK, he's going for the peek, and he almost falls. It's 1 more second, but there it is. Paquetá are able to win it, and JNT finds the kill just after the clock ends. Woo!
I can't believe it. He was hiding behind the silo on the site. He gets the first kill, drops the bomb, and he still peeks heaven, and you can hear him coming as well. I can't believe he peeks with 4 seconds to go. You have to hide there, my friend. God, I mean, he wins out the round, of course, and does the right thing, but the way he did it was butt clenching, to say the least. And he will win the round for his team, of course, though. Just the 1 alive, so it's a tough one for their economy going ahead.
Yeah, definitely a rough spot for Paquetá, even though they come through with the victory, because it's 0 people alive. It's not an ideal victory, but it is still 1 round more that they have over the Sharks, and they may need that buffer, considering Sharks are in a beautiful position to take this one home, considering they've already found the opener in this round.
Yeah, and it can be so hard to recover a CT 4v5 on Nuke like this. IDK is toward Heart. Looks like he maybe wants to pinch it with David toward ramp as well. Just misses the shoulder pick toward Realzin. But everyone is here. So if they decide to lobby crunch, that's going to be walking into all 5 members of Sharks, basically. IDK has to go above and beyond here in this situation. They have utility to force him away. How will it pan out? Look where Nithon is right now. He's in a decent spot alongside David. If they do decide to go toward ramp, IDK's going to look for it, but Realzin's waiting. So that could be the sealer.
Yeah, but they're not ready for David. I take that back. Kagatex is actually the one to get the damage. He finds 1, I believe, through the wall, and now it's all onto the flank. Nithon's good for 1, good for 2, and now it's Lukosi alone. He has to pick up the bomb and get it down on the site. Both of these players so low, only 1 point of difference on their health, 1 at 19, 1 at 20, and it's the afterplant. Lukosi versus Nithon. Op versus M4. Who finds who first?
There makes no difference. Exactly the same health. AWP silenced M4. Nithon does have a defuse kit. He's rotated around into a pretty decent spot, but Lukosi can just play the long game. There's the noise. There's the drop. For the top of Heart. That's the information that Luca needs. Nithon has no idea where he's coming from. The flash will reveal it, but it's just to distract.
Oh, that was
surely
such a good play
for Nithon. Yeah, that's really smart stuff, actually, from Luca. Completely faking out the flashes, and it completely bamboozles Nithon. And in the end, it will go down to the bomb. But still, it's that was, that wasn't even anything down to the fragging. That was just pure wit winning him that clutch.
Yeah, I love the double flash. Just flashing 1, saying, hey, this is where I'm going to come from, and then immediately flashing around the corner. So there's a complete safe check on the bomb, and at that point, not even a kit could have stuck that defuse. So loved that clutch. It was so close, so worrisome for the side of Sharks, but at the end, it is Paquetá who are now on a pretty rough bye. They have forced into this one 2 Deagles, FAMAS, M4, and I believe that is the 5-7 on IDK. but I don't know how much they can get done with that in this round.
Yeah, it's a full force. I mean, around that M4, so it is scary. I think Nathan will be a little bit disappointed he couldn't win out that clutch in the previous round, to be honest, because he had that lovely spray down on the flank with the aforementioned Silence M4. So it's a tough situation now. 12 all. You know, for Paquetá, if they don't win this round, their economy is going to be completely done for, and they'll have to full eco. Smokes toward outside. Sharks will again look to take it with around 1:15 to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good nade. They actually dodge the peek from Nithon as they throw the nade as well. It does a decent amount of damage, tags him down to 73, and now they're going for a lot of outside control. Nithon still sticking around, though. He wants to see if he can find any damage, and if he finds a good timing, he might just find one, and there it is. Takes down Zevi. He is going to try to back off, and now they are trying to find him. Lukosi will trade back with the kill onto Nithon, and now it's a 4 versus 4 across the board.
Yeah, it felt like in that situation, Nathan was just desperate to go in for another frag, and I don't like what he chooses to do in the end. I would say maybe hide behind blue box, wait for a player to come through garage. Maybe they miss the shot, going for a peek toward, the top of mini like that, just dry. Just didn't seem like it would ever work out. Trade was instant. And then a 4v4, 25 seconds to go. Look where Sharks are. They're shifting all the way through hell. David gets a frag on the Deagle. That's the call to go. We're going to be jumping down toward ramp. They need this bomb plant quickly, but there are players here.
Yeah, is Destiny going to be ready for these players? Is he going to open the store and find a good killer? Are they going to be playing on the other side of Silo? A very smart plan from them. They know that a player could have been in that position, so they're not even going to risk it. Pank, he finds the opener. He's looking for more. He's joined with Lukosi on site, and there goes the fight. Lukosi will trade, but they're going to tap the bomb. This forces Reels into peek. They're both off the bomb. He finds one, but now it's Lukosi in the clutch again. Another fake, and I think he smells out this fake completely. He's not even going to peek off of it. And Destiny, every second spent looking for this last player is a second wasted. In fact, now he has to hold it if he wants to get this defuse. Lukosi, he has 10 whole seconds to peek this angle, and it's going to be an easy kill. No, excuse me, it's Destiny who finds a kill, but it will be another round for Sharks.
Oh my goodness, the last 2 rounds they've won, both been in 1 versus 1 fashion. I can't believe that. Paquetá will be kicking themselves. They've had 2 opportunities to maybe nab a sneaky round. Of course, saving an AK makes me a little bit concerned about what they will buy here. They've been forcing in a little bit of a risky fashion. I would hope this time they'll just go for a full eco and play the 14 of Sharks. But yeah, T timeout coming in. Sharks timeout that is, of course. 3rd out of 4. They are edging toward a possible decider here.
Yeah, this is getting closer and closer. I mean, what an extremely close match we are seeing right now. Sharks, of course, going to have the better buy going into this one as they call their timeout, and the timeout ends. Paquetá just going to be grasping at straws in this round. In fact, we do see only the AK on Destiny really going into this round. David does have a deagle, and man, that man is good with that gun. So that is a little bit worrying, but Sharks, they should have a pretty easy round on their hands here.
Yeah, it's going to be Paquetá's, their personal choice to play against the 14. It's the right choice. Unless this AK of Destiny can go above and beyond in a remarkable situation. He is going to be trying toward outside. If there's one place you'd want that AK, it's probably around that spot. But Sharks, they just do what they've been doing this whole half so far. They smoke toward outside. Maybe take control of garage. They should be okay. They should just get toward that number 14. Be just 2 away from taking us to Mirage.
Yeah, taking us to a decider. It's what was probably expected considering how evenly matched these teams are, at least once you look at it on paper. They are definitely quite similar in their world ranking, in their performances in previous matches, so on and so forth. But Sharks definitely looking a little bit stronger on Nuke so far, and that's a good start. They take down David. They take down the Deagle, and now all they have to worry about is that AK of Destiny, which has made its way back into heaven.
When Nithon is there, I haven't actually checked the far back angle yet. He could drop the bomb in garage here, Nithon. It should be traded immediately, but still, this position has not been checked. Will Reels didn't walk around the angle. There's the information. Double tap. There goes the bomb. Can he get any more? He's going to get pressure up close. He shouldn't get any more, and there we go. That deals with the threat. Destiny's been found. There's the AK gone. 4 players still alive for Sharks. This should be pretty safe.
Yeah, they know where this last player is as well. They hear him drop towards the A side, so they're like, hey, as long as we're safe, I'm pretty sure he's in vents right now. We can get this complete bomb plant ready for us. And yeah, Pank and Lukosi are just ready for that peak. Pank does find the kill. And Sharks, they are on 14th, only 2 rounds away from taking us to Mirage.
And that would be a pretty barn burner of a decider. It's not like it's an Inferno, but still, I would say Mirage is probably, second best map for deciders, to be honest. In this day and age in Counter-Strike. Nathan is up to 27 and 18, by the way. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough at the moment. Gartex has had a bit of a rough game. He's been struggling, only on 10 kills so far. Sharks has been taking advantage of that and now have a great opportunity to really pull this one through. Paquetá have their full buy, but again, you look at their utility already. They have 2 grenades in a smoke. Again, they've used it all in the early portion of the round.
Yeah, and Sharks are looking to just take control of outside here as the smokes do come in. Nithon is hoping for an early peek, and he will actually get it. No kill, though. Instead, Pank finds that somehow, some way he wins the long-range battle with the AUG, and that is going to be the start of a likely disaster for the side of Paquetá. As now the Sharks are just taking full outside control, and Destiny is forced to find something to hunt for some sort of control in this round. That's information given, but Panky should be ready for this trade in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the frag and actually manages to get away. Problem is, Pank is 31 HP, so he's hesitant to go in for an immediate trade. The timing toward outside here is absolutely critical. Gartex will take Pank, so that is something. But now they know Destiny's still around here, and Zevi will punish him. That means positions now can be altered. Gartex is going in for a big play here. He's going to rotate all the way through the T roof. He could be behind these players going in towards Secret. Can he hit the shot? That's one. Can he get a second? They're going to escape instead. 3v2.
Yeah, that was such a smart play from him. Now they are heading towards the B side, and I do love that they can cut off the rotations that come through from Vent, but I don't think any of these rotations are actually going to happen. As Zevi is making his way towards the site, we see one player coming in from ramp, and one player on site, that being IDK and David. Now, just finding the last. David was the player on site, and IDK swings out from ramp to find that last. Paquetá Gaming stave off map point for the Sharks and get us even a little bit closer to that 2-0 that they want.
Helen, we're getting close to overtime on Nuke again. How do you feel about that?
Oh, man. You know what the worst part is? I gotta pee again. Overtime on Nuke, it does something to my body. Every time we get a round closer to overtime on Nuke, I think my body
Must be the river. Must
You know
be the
what?
river outside the Cedar Creek power plant. It has to be the river.
I think it's either that or it's like the body's natural reaction to some sort of foreign object causing me harm. You know, like, you get a fever, you get all sweaty. I think my version of that apparently is just needing to pee really bad when Nuke decides to go for a lot more. Yesterday, we did cast 114 rounds of Nuke over 2 best-of-3s. Today, so far, we've only casted, I think it was 29, maybe? I think the final score was something close to that from our best-of-3 earlier today, but I don't know if I have another best-of-3 in me. I mean, or another overtime in me. I mean, I'll have to if we go to it. I'm definitely going to do it, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we know a little bit of a tech pause coming in. I believe the FPS bug is back and plaguing us, so it shouldn't be too long. Obviously, there is a command in chat that you can use to fix that. It does work, on various, when you're pugging it, it can work. But sometimes it can take a little bit of time to resolve. Looks like they have done it. I believe the command for everyone in chat, if you have the FPS bug when you play the game, you suddenly have low FPS, like stuck on 60. It's usually something like log_address add 1, I believe the command is. So try and fix the FPS bug. Should freeze your game for a second and then unfreeze it, and your FPS should be back to normal. I'd imagine that's exactly what Paquetá or Sharks, have done. And I believe they are now ready to unpause once again. They're about to start. Paquetá, if they win this round, Sharks' economy, they're going to be rough. Actually, look at this choice. Look at that's really, really patient and smart.
Yeah, I like that they are not trying to force that map point, not trying to force the safety of an overtime at least, and instead they are going to really fight for this one. Let Paquetá find that 14th and then bring out the full force in this next one. That said, they do have the Deagles, they do have the Scout. It's not like they're just letting Paquetá lob this one over the finish line. Not an easy putt for Paquetá in any way, shape, or form. Sharks still want to make this a very competitive round. It's just that I think even they know they're most likely not going to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the choice because they've easily could have got, 3 AKs probably, I think, in total. Maybe 2 AKs in the Galil. So, I mean, even this could work because then he's already got one on the scout. Oh, no. Luca takes knife on. How does this keep happening? Luca, second on the Deagle. Now it's all down to IDK and Kagartex. They're a bit disappointed from the action. Kagartex is anyway. It's a good second from IDK, but it's not going to be enough. It's all down to Kagartex. The player's been struggling a little bit so far in this game of Nuke in a 1 versus 3 with an AWP as well. The pistols all holding every single angle. He surely has to save and play for overtime. He's going to do just that.
He needs to save. He needs to save. This is, I mean, so back and forth. I even said, I was like, they're not going to, make it easy for him. They're not going to make it easy for Paquetá. And I think the hardest thing you could do, the thing you could do to make it the hardest to win is win yourself instead. That definitely makes it very difficult for the enemy. So Sharks, that is an amazing round to win. That is the best round they could possibly win here. They are going to be on map point now, just 1 round away from taking us to Mirage as they also break the economy of Paquetá. It is a stellar position to be in.
Yeah, Paquetá need 2 in a row to force overtime and give themselves a chance of taking this one in 2-0 fashion, but now for Sharks to have too much points, or 2 map points, sorry, to take us through to a decider of Mirage, and that could be a pretty fascinating one. All Paquetá have in this round to try and stave off that guaranteed Mirage is 2 Deagles, that saved AWP, a FAMAS, and an MP9. It's looking rough. Who will bring this one through?
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a map 3 here. I mean, that's just my genius prediction from, I don't know, statistics. But Paquetá Gaming, they are a team that have shown time and time again, especially players like David, that they can really turn around rounds that they have no right winning. And Sharks, they are just going to default onto the A side. A tried and true classic. IDK will find the first, but Pank is going to quickly trade back. Lukosi good for more, and Pank is actually going to fall. A great kill from IDK, dropping down from the mini, and now IDK is looking for more. JNT will trade. Now it's a 2 versus 2. JNT is ready for the peek from David, and now it's all on to Kagartex. The man with the op will drop as Lukosi finds that, and map 2 goes the way of the Sharks.
It's fantastic from Sharks. They're keeping themselves alive. I mean, this game was going to be close either way. I really